Hey, just Mark here. All right, so tonight I kind of want to talk about something. So I was speaking to a friend earlier today, and it was a combination of a friend speaking to me, as well as a post that someone made on Facebook. So of course I'm a single guy. I've been single since about I think October, end of October 2023, and I not gonna lie, I like being single. So, what are the common things that happens to me as a single guy in my 40s? I'm a pretty decent human being, and I've got some great friends who try to encourage me a little bit. But today I kind of had like two incidences where, let me just get a little comfortable here, where in one conversation, someone asked me if I had tried getting out into the dating scene again. And I kind of smiled and said to that person, I'm like, well, no, I have zero desire to get out there and play this game or get out into dating because I enjoy my peace. I enjoy not being responsible for other people. And that conversation kind of went to the whole, well, but Mark, you're a good guy. There's got to be someone out there for you. No one likes being alone. And then we go to the Facebook comment. I made a post about growing my beard for a while. A couple years ago, I think it was 2020, 2021, I had grown my beard, and it was like bushy and crazy, Try to post a picture of it here. And I just posted, hey, should I do this again? Now, most of the posts, people were like, oh, you know what? Do what makes you happy. Does it make you happy? And I kind of thought about that. Like, yeah, kind of did. I enjoyed it. It got shaggy. I did look old. Don't get me wrong. I started looking like I was in my 60s. But it was kind of fun to grow a white and brown beard for almost a year. But then someone made a comment and said, well, do you ever want to get lucky again or meet some women? And I'm toning it down because it was a little slightly different. And my reply was, no desire, man. No desire to even touch that. So when I think about it, as a single guy, I do get tired of hearing certain things like, oh, come on, Mark, get out there, don't be afraid, or there's plenty of great women out there, or hey, I have someone you should meet. Now, some people do that with good intentions. They know someone who's single and have some similar interests and think I could be friends with them. That I love. But it's the ones who are like, well, she's single and she could use a guy like you, or you could use a girl like her. And it's interesting because I find when I tell people I just want to be single, that I don't want to date, that I just want to live my life the way it is right now, it's almost like it's a taboo thing. And I go back to thinking about when I was younger and someone saying to me, I think it was in high school, and I had started my hair started thinning at that point. And she said, Mark, girls don't like bald men. You're probably going to be single because girls prefer men with hair. Keep in mind, this is the 90s. This is just around the time Bruce Willis started shaving his head and made bald sexy. He's the true OG on that one. But I remember someone saying to me once that you will be nothing in life if you don't find a partner or you don't get married. What will your purpose be? And I definitely thought for years that I had to have a spouse or a partner or someone to spend my life with. Over the years, I have loved being in relationships to a certain degree. I love love. I love doing things for women I date. I do have a slight romantic side that comes and goes. But I loved it. But now that I'm older and I'm not married and I have no kids, I've been through a lot of stress in a lot of my relationships near the end. It's not to go and say that every relationship is bad or negative, but if there's anything I've learned in my 40 plus years of life, it's that relationship, you need to really work at it. And some people don't. I've had people give right up on our relationship and walk away. I've had others who did try and we realized that we just weren't compatible, and that's fine. I've also been in relationships where both the woman and I were way too immature. We thought we wanted different things together in marriage and stuff like that. I never proposed, just for the record. But later on, when I look back years later on that relationship, we had fun, but we were both so flippin' immature and we wouldn't have made, this was in my early 20s, we wouldn't have made it. And, now from what I understand, she's married, has got a couple kids, living a good life. And I think that's fantastic for her. But for me, I enjoy being single now. I remember when I was single before for a few years that I was happy with my life. And then I thought at one point, now maybe a partner can come into that. And I did find a partner for a while. But now, a year and a half removed from that relationship, for the first time in my life, I don't feel like I need a partner to be with me. I don't feel like my life will be less valuable if I don't find somebody. Right? And that's the perception. I mean, and I'm not going to lie, if I ever do get back out in the dating world, it scares me a bit. I haven't been out trying to meet women in, almost a decade now, right? So I like the old school way of, just meeting people naturally, but we know that is not common anymore, So I kind of want to get back to the things I've learned in relationships. You got to communicate. You got to realize that those first couple of years are fun. The sexy time is good, and you're romantic and you go on a lot of dates and you're constantly trying to woo that person. But over time, there has to be more. You have to get to know that person on a deeper level, because at the end of the day, our looks are going to fade. Intimate time spreads out a little bit more, and it's a matter of what you do from there. I've also learned that the beginning of relationships are just so much fun, but they can also be intense and not in a good way. And so when I think about that, it's like, how do you carry that momentum? And some of the most successful relationships I know, people that I know in my life, like friends and family. Heck, I know a couple of couples who have been together since high school, and we're almost all 50. And I think that's great. But they've said it hasn't come without challenges, but they just choose to love on their partner every day. And they choose to work through their issues every day. And I think nowadays people just wave the white flag, give up, walk away. And that's not the way to have any relationship whatsoever. So for me, as much as I appreciate people telling me to, find a good girl and get out there, I honestly hate hearing all the reasons why I should be dating, because no one seems to understand why I don't want to date. And a lot of people kind of bug me a little bit about it, and that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine, because I'll brush it off because that's who I am, and I'll walk away from the conversation and just whatever. But if you're a single person and you enjoy being single, tell me why. I'd love to hear about it. Or what are some reasons you think both men and women are more single nowadays? Because it seems to me like more and more people are choosing, as we get older, not to be in relationships, men and women. Now, women, don't get me wrong, there are some jerks out there. Guys, we're not perfect. But also to the women out there, it's the same thing. We just face different challenges in different ways in relationships. And a lot of it, I find, comes down to communication. And I remember someone saying to me a year ago that women generally know about 6 months before the relationship ends that they want it to be over. The interesting part about that is no one talks about it. No one works through it. Or at least that's my experience. And, I've seen other couples, same thing. Their breakup came out of nowhere, out of surprise. Men, we can harbor things a little bit as well. But I found that very interesting because I heard it from multiple women, but these are also some women who I know and I respect, but they've also been divorced. Some of them twice, some of them 3 times. So I kind of think what's going on that people aren't working together. So anyways, that's kind of my relationship ramble tonight, because as a single guy, I'm going to say this. I love my life. I enjoy my life. I have fun being single. I have female friends I can go out and take out on evenings out or dinners or whatever, and know there's not going to be any romantic connection, but it's fun. And I love having female friends like that. I don't miss being a part of a couple. And who knows, maybe my perception will change down the road. But for now, no. I'm going to continue enjoying my peace and my lack of stress. You know, right now, the only girl I need in my life has got 4 legs and she's furry. So, yeah, anyways, I'm going to end this here. As I said, I'm trying to get used to just vlogging and talking and getting used to a camera. And this, I'm not going to lie, this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is top notch. So, if you have any feedback, comments, please comment down below. I do reply to comments as best I can. I think I've replied to every comment I've had so far, and thank you to those who have. And yeah, like, subscribe, tell me your thoughts. Anyways, cheers. I'll see you on the next one.